The community's action in solidarity and Association Jesus Solidarity invite you to listen to the living gospel. This Christmas Day, let us meditate on the gospel according to John, chapter 1, verses 1 to 18, with commentary from Father 𝙂𝙤𝙨 in the voice of 𝙂𝙤𝙨. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came to be through him, and without him nothing came to be. What came to be through him was life, and this life was the light of the human race. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. A man named John was sent from God. He came for testimony, to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but came to testify to the light. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him. But the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, but his own people did not accept him. But to those who did accept him, he gave power to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not by natural generation, nor by human choice, nor by a man's decision, but of God. And the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. And we saw his glory, the glory as of the Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. John testified to him and cried out, saying, "This was he of whom I said, 'The one who is coming after me ranks ahead of me because he existed before me.' From his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace. Because while the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen him. The only Son, God, who is at the Father's side, has revealed him." The word of the Lord. Father 𝙂𝙤𝙨's commentary. Dear friends, today's text is the hymn of the Incarnation, which sings the descent of the Word from God to the world, to dwell with us and be our way, truth, and life. The crowning moment is in these words, "The Word became flesh." It is an old Christian hymn, to which the author adds some verses about John the Baptist, to highlight the superiority of Jesus. This prologue is a synthesis of the entire Gospel of John. Its main ideas are the following. God creates the world through his Word, which is life and light of everything that exists. He is light amid the darkness of evil, but the darkness did not overcome him. That Word of God became flesh. This passage uses a word that means weak flesh, highlighting that the only Son of God became weak like us and dwelt among us. That is, he became our companion and brother. John the Baptist was a man raised by God to be a witness to that light and to give testimony to us. But the world, which had been created by the Word, did not recognize him. And his people, the people of Israel, did not receive him. Although there were many Jews who became Christians, including our fathers in the faith, Israel as a people did not recognize Jesus. But there were those who welcomed him and welcomed him, believing in him. These people, through their faith, received the ability to be children of God. The Christian community witnesses this, referred to in the plural that appears from verse 16. From his fullness we have all received grace in abundance. And if Moses brought us the law, Jesus, who came down from the bosom of God, made it known to us. Sublime passage. It is worth reading again in prayer. Let us be aware that we are immersed in the mystery of God, and the Spirit makes us exclaim, Abba, Father, Mother, Tatay, Nanay. Prayer. The top. I prostrate myself when reading this gospel. I prostrate myself among the grass in a silent valley, in front of the great mountain. I look at it and I look again, without being able to see the top. I start the climb, surrounded by books and technicians who know a lot about the mountain. To reach the peak dominates everything. Entire nights I've spent listening to their lessons and reading their books. I have climbed steep slopes and even impossible walls with enormous fatigue, equipped with nails and hammers. Yet I never get to see the top. And I assured myself that there is no such summit to justify my failure. I sinned, Lord. I sinned. You had compassion. You approached slowly. You found me lying on the ground, chewing the bitter fruit of my no. And you told me sweetly, you must have suffered a lot, right? And I was afraid that you would scold me. You picked me up from the ground and explained to me the summit cannot be seen because it would be smaller than yourself. This summit is not made of ice, but it is full of love and compassion. Go on. Weak flesh. But tell us, love, why did you do it? Why did you dare descend to the ground, placing yourself on the level of the people, to share our miseries? Had you stayed a few steps up, looking from outside, dodging the stones, the bites and the blows of thugs and hitmen? But your missionary fire prohibited you from the trench, and you descended bare-chested to the sand of the barbaric combat. How can you not find out about the war that is lived down here daily? You took the risk, without measuring your strength, face down onto the battlefield. Forgive my insolence. But weren't you too naive in entering the fray so suddenly? The Word became weak flesh, and he faced without protections or defenses the ferocity of the wolf. He fought without respite, and he was broken under the jackal's claws. When I think about it, my soul fills with tenderness. I can't help it. But then, he won. You won our life after the defeat. You gave us your eternal victory.